Well, today's the day we set the record for the highest price we pay for a gallon of gas in Idaho. Yesterday, that record was $4.97. Today, we went above $5 for the first time ever. $5.02 to be exact. And if you made the mistake of not filling up your tank yesterday, well, you're paying 5 cents more on average per gallon today. Some states have been working to tackle this issue with ideas like tax rebate checks to help offset some of these rising costs that we're seeing. Here in Idaho, there's been some chatter about what can be done locally, and today, 2 state Democratic lawmakers offered an idea, and it would involve the governor calling a special session, a high bar to meet most years. Joe Paris spoke with the Dems about their idea and how it could help Idahoans struggling with inflation.
Sometimes finding the pulse of the people, a big thing everyone seems to be talking about, it's pretty easy to find. These days, the electronic numbers at the gas station are the big table talker. Just ask Idaho Representative James Ruckty, who found it easy to hear the voice of the people while out at breakfast in Pocatello.
I sit close enough to the counter that I can hear, what people are talking about at the counter. And this week and last week, it's gas prices and how much it costs to fill up that tank of gas.
AAA reports that the national average for a gallon of gas is $4.95. The average across Idaho is about $5.03 a gallon. Both averages are up in recent days and weeks. So, Democrat Representative James Ruckty and his colleague, Senator David Nelson, sent this letter to Governor Little, proposing an idea.
Senator Nelson and I are proposing that we do a special session. We meet for the sole purpose of considering a gas tax holiday piece of legislation.
A special legislative session can only be called by Governor Little. And if he did call a special session in response to the proposal, Ruckty says that Democrats only want one bill considered. This bill. It would essentially pause Idaho's tax on gas for 6 months. The current gas tax in Idaho is 32 cents a gallon, meaning Idahoans would get some relief at the pump.
This is a great way to get money back in the pockets of Idahoans who they're going to go spend it on the economy. And you can think of it as a targeted tax break.
Idaho's gas tax goes towards Gem State roads and maintenance, and the proposed gas tax holiday would cost the state about $180 million that would go towards that. Ruckty and Nelson point to the state's budget surplus as a solution to making that fund whole.
We would just use a small portion of that budget surplus to pay for roads because that's where the gas tax money goes.
Ruckty says a big plus for him in the proposal is the concept that the gas tax will help all Idahoans who fill up the tank.
The thing I like about this gas tax holiday is, Idaho families of all shapes and sizes are going to be able to use it, and small businesses will benefit. If you have a fleet of cars, or even if your employees have to travel the state, and this will save your business money.
If Governor Little calls a special session and this draft idea does pass, Ruckty said the concept would take a little time to set up. But with no sign of gas prices going back towards the $3 mark, the belief is that the tax holiday would still be greatly beneficial.
It might take us about 3 months to figure out how to actually get everything in place before it's implemented, but that's the idea. Every time you go fill up a gallon of gas, you're going to save 32 cents.
Sitting at home during this story, I know you might have started doing some math, and even with the 32 cent a gallon break, you'll know that gas prices would still be in the neighborhood of $4.50, a lot more than I know Idahoans want to pay. Now, Ruckty says nobody should pretend that his proposal is the end-all be-all fix. He says this is simply a start.
I don't pretend that this is the only thing that can be done, but when Idahoans need help, this is a great way to show that government is listening. The governor can call a special session. I think it'll get bipartisan support because in every legislative district throughout Idaho, you've got families that are dealing with this. So there's a lot of incentive for us to act.
So as we established, there's a lot of power right now for Governor Little, a lot for him to consider, and I reached out to the governor's office for reaction to the letter the Dems sent and their request for a special session. His office responded with a statement saying the following. Here you go. Quote, Governor Little received the letter from Idaho Democrats, and he is reviewing the request, his statement says. Governor Little and Republicans in the Idaho legislature this year championed immediate and ongoing historic tax relief for working Idahoans. Now, they look to offset the gas prices, and they're addressing problems created by, they say, President Joe Biden and the Democrats' mishandling of the economy. The statement continues that every single Idaho Democrat legislator voted against the ongoing tax cuts and immediate tax rebates just a few months ago. Governor Little clearly stated last month he plans to cut taxes even further with the state's budget surplus to build on 3 straight years of unprecedented tax relief for Idahoans. Again, that is the comment from Governor Little's office this afternoon. It's wait and see, though. The governor, again, he received the request. He's going to maybe call a special session. I've talked to a handful of Republican and Democrat lawmakers today. Really, the feeling is it's wait and see. But some that I speak with say they're not so sure he's going to call the special session. But we do know Idahoans are calling on the governor and lawmakers to do something about this.
Yeah, I think that would, as he said, you would think bipartisan support would be for this to get rid of a tax rebate that Democrats are proposing. It'd be interesting to see what the other side of that is. And if he doesn't call the session, I guess we won't hear too much about it.
The other question I've heard from people is, does this go far enough? 32
Sure.
cents a gallon, as we highlighted, gas would still be very expensive. So could we see a more aggressive measure taken? The state of Idaho does have a lot of surplus dollars. Again, only Governor Little knows who's going to call the special session. So really it is wait and see for the rest of us.
Got to start somewhere.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Joe.